Good day, everyone. I'm Frederick. Last week, I've published a Tableau data viz on public, showing my son's epic adventures. He's riding from France to China, 10,000 kilometers for a charity. He's actually fundraising, so I can, in the comment, put the donation link if you're interested. He actually told us yesterday that he's now decided to go from France to Australia, so even longer, so way more than 10,000 kilometers. Anyway, when I published the data viz, a few folks asked me did I visualize the chart with the map showing the different stages. As you can see, there's 50 or so different stages in there. So I'm hoping that recording that tutorial, I can show you I got the data from Garmin, which is the system he's using to capture his rides, GPS computer, and then basically export the data, plot it to Tableau. It's very easy. And then I've got a couple of map visuals there using Mapbox. So this one is a bit of a dark one, and there's demonstrational street map that you so often see in the Tableau. In the Tableau maps, very straightforward, so more as a GPS navigation. But all those points are basically GPS points. So I'm gonna jump to a demo, show you how that stuff works. It's pretty simple and easy. The very first step is obviously to get data from Garmin or any GPS enabled system. Strava would work, I'm sure. So that's my son's Garmin profile. So I'm gonna use two of these latest rides, one around 46 kilometers and 120 almost this week. So I'm just going to the first step is to when I launch the ride itself. What I need to do is I need to, if I put that out of the way, I need to download the GPX file. So it's going to download the GPX file. So I do that for the two rides. Same with this one. As you can see, so I'm basically trying to mimic the same kind of look and feel in Tableau. So the next step, so I've got the two GPX files. If I go to my download folder, those are the two files in there, two text files, two GPX files. I can open one and you can take a look, but it's pretty boring and confusing. So Tableau doesn't really understand, as far as I know, it doesn't really allow us to import GPX files natively directly. So we need to do a bit of a manipulation. So I'm using a tool called GPS Visualizer, which is a very cool free platform. You can copy and paste content in there, or I just find it easier to just upload the two files. So if I go to my download folder, I've got those two files there. Click open. So I can see there's two files in there, and you can see there's different options. So what I want is a plain text, and you can tell the system what you want. I tend to just use those 4, 5. Draw slope is really interesting. Go show advanced options. You'll see there's a bunch of options, a bunch of settings. I usually connect the segment is the one I use and merge the tracks. But you see there's way more settings, so you can get to play with those ones. And then when you're happy, click convert. So it's going to crunch those two files, analyze them, and you see at the end there's a text file that's been generated. When I click on that, the file is now in my download folder, which is that file there, which I can just open. So that's the file in there. So I find it easier to just work with Excel. So if you just copy the content from the Notepad text file, and then like a blank notebook and paste. paste the content in there. So I'm just pasting everything in there. So there's a couple of things I usually do. So you can see the fields are in there. So whatever you like using, I don't know if you need them all. Up to you to decide. So you got the type. I think that's out of the box. The time, so the days and when it starts. Latitude, longitude, altitude, speed, distance interval. So the running sum of the meters. So there's one thing I usually do is I include a ride ID or name. So it's easier to just search in Tableau. So you see, the visualizer basically pull the names from the Garmin. So the first one that's this one. So I just find it easier to just you might do that in prep, but I'll do it very quickly for the demo purpose. When you got a lot of files, I think it makes it easier to just do it in prep or different platforms. But because I'm just doing a quick demo, so I'm doing one for the first day. So just double checking that it's a very long stage. I think there's a lot of recording there. Come on. Oh, there's just one that thing to be filled currently. Mm, and if I go back to the second one, which is this one. So this one is for the second day. I don't think it's required, but it's up to you to if you when you over, for example, the tooltip um, in your viz, you might want to display names rather than just the time. So it's up to you to decide. I haven't been able to find a nice way to do it automatically with the GPS analyzer platform. But now I've got the 2 days. The 2 days are in a data set, very simple. So you imagine if you plot that over a few days, weeks, you might have 100 of those tracks, and then go save as. I'm going to save that the desktop. Right. So now that's it. I've done the data prep. I've got the name. I've got the time, latitude, longitude, altitude, and a few metrics in there. So if I jump to Tableau now, I don't need this anymore. So the next step is to connect the Excel file. So I'm just going to desktop, save the files in my desktop. File is there, and there's a couple of things you can do. Latitude, longitude. But the next thing is to turn it into a line and add the time to the path, the time or the date or whatever you got in your data set. And I think it's exact date. And that's it. You got your line, because now you got a name. Remember the name is the location. You can put the name in color just for testing purpose. And now that's it. You got your 2 line charts that displaying the path, and that should be mimicking the Garmin. I go back to the Garmin. I should be mimicking the path you see in the Garmin. See, that's one of them, and then that's this one, the blue one with the name in there. I might have got the name wrong. I think Demre cycling. I know that's this one. So that's it. So obviously those decisions are in Turkey. So um, he started in France and he's making his way to Turkey all the way down, all the way to Georgia. But it's only showing basically how to visualize um, two, two routes using the data from Garmin. Then you export the data to visualizer. So you're using your GPX file, turn that to a text file. You would do some manipulation in Excel if required, including name, for example, or including other stuff. You could include the country, for example, because it's going to cross so many countries. So I could have done it with a real data set. And then the next step is super simple, is to add those to Tableau, latitude, longitude, and use the time as in a line. It needs to be exact date, and then you can just have all the information. You can calculate the distance interval if you want. So something to keep in mind is those are meters. So if you want to turn that to kilometers, you need to divide them by 1,000. But on the real viz on public, I've got the total kilometer, as you can see there. So for every end of stages, so there's a simple calc. You can download the workbook and take a look. But at the end of every stages, I've created a calc that basically gives me the running total. So total kilometer ridden, 4.5 thousand kilometers, and overall is done 5.6, I think. That's a running total. So that was just very simple calc. As you can see, there's quite a few stages, so the data set is fairly large, but it seems to be working quite well. So for every stage, there's a calc that basically shows calculates the overall running sum of all total, showing the big number there. I hope you like that video. It was simple. If you have questions, contact me. The next video, I might just show you what I've created using the same data set, but basically to create a almost, I think it's called a cinematic animated route so this one is not done in Tableau, it's done in Mapbox GL, which is a very cool software that if people watch the Tour de France, you often see those stages play back before the race or after the race. So it's pretty cool, and that's done using Mapbox GL, and then it's very simple. But I think it just uses latitude, longitude, and the GPS location. So I'll show you that when the next video. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comment, put them on the YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.